And now we're going to have a look at ginger. And ginger can be used internally and ginger can be used externally. It has been used for centuries to warm a person. So I'll give you an experience I had in Germany. It was a very hot day outside, so I dressed very lightly. And a man wanted me to talk to a lady who'd been sick on the phone. And the house I was in was all stone. And because it was hot outside, they hadn't lit the fire, and I got colder and colder. And I thought the phone call would be 20 minutes, and it ended up being an hour. And by the end of the phone call, I was very, very cold. And I'd missed my ride to go out and get stamps for my postcards for all my grandchildren. So the man felt bad. He said, I'll drive you to the shop. But his car was air conditioning. See, Germans aren't used to this heat. So as soon as there's a little bit of heat, the air condition goes on. And we went to the shop, and there was a huge line up, and the air condition was on in the shop, and I got colder and colder. And by the time I got back to the house, I was shaking. I was so cold. And it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought I'll just jump into bed, but I was so cold I could not warm up. So I went out, and there were a couple of ladies there, and I said, can you give me some hot water bottles, and can you make me some ginger tea, some hot ginger tea, because I knew that when I drank the hot ginger tea, I would start to warm up. And I did. The hot ginger tea and the hot water bottles in bed, I started to warm up. But what was interesting, my body took that opportunity to go the other way and create a fever. Anyway, the good news is I had a fever that night. I think I slept for 10 hours, and the staff were coming in very worried about me, and they said, look, you're supposed to fly in 2 days, you can stay. You can stay because you're not going to be able to fly. So this was, let's say this is Wednesday and I'm flying Friday. So this is Wednesday night, and they took my temperature and it was 40. So what's that? That's 100, 102, something like that. It didn't bother me, I was just so happy to be warm. But in the morning I was wet from the perspiration in the night. You know, when I wake up, I felt fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I had a big drink of water, I went outside and I ran up and down. Well, I didn't have to run up the big hills. I dived into the freezing cold water, got dressed and came back and had breakfast, and all the staff were saying, are you okay? I said, I'm fantastic. Do you know what Florence Nightingale said? Disease is a process of repair. And a cold is a house clean. And when you get a fever, it'll even boost it along. Tonight I'm going to go into detail on fevers. And you might be very surprised at what we look at. But the ginger is excellent for warming a body. And I'm sure here in the middle of winter, you have snow. When you have snow outside and maybe you're out there too long and you get cold, come in and have a hot ginger tea. And if you have a massage in Asia, when you come out of your massage, they always have a cup of hot ginger tea for you. Ginger is also an anti-nausea herb. And by the way, the easiest way to make a ginger tea is just to grate it on this little grater. Pour boiling water on it. That's all you need to do. And then after 10 minutes, you might strain it and drink that. Sometimes I even just put a few slices of ginger in my water bottle and have a nice ginger flavour. I do love ginger. So it can be used internally to warm up a body. It can be used internally for a sore throat, and we saw that. It's in the flu bomb. It can be used internally for nausea. So if you go to the health food shop and buy seasickness tablets, car sickness tablets, it's just compressed ginger. Because ginger is a very good anti-nausea herb. And ladies that are suffering from morning sickness can get, pregnancy, they can get relief by having ginger tea. Or one lady said she just walked around with a piece of ginger and kept having a little nibble and sucking on the juice. And she said that found it helped a lot. So that's where you can use it internally. It also will boost your hydrochloric acid. Remember earlier in the week when we looked at the liver and we looked at sweet bitters, and I called ginger the sweet bitter.